Hello, all you lovely people out there. How are you doing? Today, I have got a fabulous and really insightful interview for you. If you are hearing good things about Brisbane, if you are reading that the property market in Brisbane is about to take off, then this is the video for you. You're going to get some really fantastic and deeper information into what is happening with the Brisbane property market right now for sales and for rentals. A perfect storm of low stock, wage growth, a global pandemic have catapulted Brisbane's property market into the stratosphere, sparking a potential once-in-a-decade boom that many say could fuel a further 10% rise in house prices in the coming year or so. So stay tuned to listen in on our conversation. Hello everyone, I'm Kate Hill, and as always I'm here to give you the best unbiased and honest commentary about our property markets, along with lots and lots of awesome hints and tips. Now, we work with many property managers and agents around the country, and I'm hoping to bring you more and more chats and interviews with some of these people who have feet on the ground. Today's interview is with Alana Barry from Realway Property Consultants in Brisbane, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about their business shortly. Buyers in Brisbane are frustrated at the lack of stock, interstate competition, and the number of properties selling before they even hit the open market. Agents are door-knocking homes in a bid to secure new listings. Local wannabe buyers are being forced to line up for over an hour to inspect homes. Multiple offers are being thrown at sellers, and deals are being done really behind closed doors within an hour of a property listing, if not beforehand, off market, before it's even hit the open market. The vacancy rate in Brisbane as a whole tightened further, and as of February sits at 1.5%. So settle in and have a listen to our conversation and insights. So Alana, tell us a little bit about Realway and what you guys do up that way.
So at Realway Property Consultants North Lakes, we are in the business of helping investors relax and basically build wealth in a stress-free environment. So we do that through our experience of 17 years and managing over 10,000 homes throughout that time for investors, and helping tenants secure suitable properties to live in.
So it's your focus has been so far property management, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we opened the business, we envisaged that our core focus and our core business would be property management only, as we felt that there was basically just that the part in the market that was missing, as most principles of real estates were sales based, and we felt that we could fill that gap.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Has it really been 17 years? Wow. Alana, tell us a little bit about geographically the area that you cover as part of that service.
Yeah, so we started off in North Brisbane, and when we basically were servicing our clients as effectively as we wanted to, we then expanded our area. So now we service not only the north side of Brisbane, but the south side of Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast as well.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. So that'd be really good when you have landlords and owners with multiple properties, right? So that you keep it all in-house if they've got properties in those different areas.
Yeah, so what we found was that clients were asking us to manage other properties that were just outside our area. And while we wanted to assist them, we really wanted to ensure that our services were really efficient, and that we were making sure we were concentrating on our service area. So once we were confident that our core area was being really well maintained and serviced, we were then happy to reach out and branch out to those landlords who had asked us for many years to look after their other
Yeah.
properties
Mm.
and say, look, yes, we're ready.
Yeah.
And we have, the property managers in that area to do so.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest things is we want to make sure that we're constantly in that area so that we are looking after the properties. We're not just
Mm.
traveling to that
Yeah.
area
Mm.
on, one day every 3 months to do routines or something like that. So we want to make sure we're consistently in that area looking after the valuable assets of our clients.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So given that sort of quite large geographic area that you look after and your experience of, North Brisbane, sunny coast, South Brisbane, kind of just generally to start with, what sort of market conditions are you seeing out there? I've been reporting a lot in my other videos how busy things are, certainly from a sales perspective, but also the tightening rental markets. We're hearing stories of prospective tenants literally queuing down the road, offering a lot more money for properties. Some of this is COVID related too, but just give us a little general overview, if that's possible, and without lumping the whole of Brisbane into one market, which one should never do, everyone. But just try and give us a bit of a general overview. Is it as busy as we're all hearing?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, going back to COVID, we thought that
Mm.
people would really sit still in
Yeah.
their rental properties and not want to move.
Mm.
And we actually found it like the other way round, where a lot of people were moving and making changes. We
Mm.
believe that was due to, downsizing and people changing of jobs and, obviously losing jobs and things like that, that they had to make those shifts. And that was a good thing that they, found themselves able to make those changes, and we assisted them with that too.
Mm.
In saying that though, the market currently. So we've just been through January and February, which is generally the busiest time of the year. Everyone makes
Mm.
shifts, everyone moves.
Mm.
And we normally have in our rent roll, we would normally have probably at any one time, we'd advertise somewhere between 20 and 30 properties at one time in the rent list.
Mm.
And so with that, put it into perspective, we've actually been advertising maybe 2 to 5 properties
Yeah.
at
Wow.
one time.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
what that means is it's not that people are sitting still, it's that they're turning over so much, like more quickly than
Mm.
we can keep up with.
Mm.
So we're actually renting the same amount of properties as we normally would. It's just that they're renting quicker and we just can't keep up. So
Yeah.
we would normally have people inquiring and tenants looking on the north side of Brisbane. Maybe we would get somewhere between 4 and 10 people inquiring on a property. We have actually been getting somewhere between 40 and 60 people inquiring.
Yeah.
So
For,
it's
for
huge.
for between 2 and 5 properties.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
On
Yeah.
each property, we're getting that amount of
Mm.
like people inquiring. So we just can't keep up with the demand.
Mm.
That's the same for the Sunshine Coast. We're
Mm.
getting on average 20 to 30 people applying for one property.
Mm.
And the south side of Brisbane, it would probably be, somewhere up to 20 people.
Mm.
So it likes huge. There's a
Yes.
huge demand in the market.
Mm.
We can't keep up. It's just crazy the amount of people that are out there looking for property. And if you're considering purchasing, I would say now's the time because the
Yes.
demand is so high.
Yeah.
The vacancies are just so low.
Yes. And the demand for properties, I will come back to that as well, but are you getting a sense for the tenants that are inquiring? Do you find, and this might be hard to tell because I guess you don't always sort of do full checks on everyone, but are they local people? Are you finding that there's as many people that are moving, that are relocating to rent northern Brisbane or southern Brisbane or sunny coast because they've made quite a big move? Do you know what I mean? Rather than it just being from within the local area. So because we're reading a lot about people making that sort of sea or tree change. There's, I personally know people here in Sydney that are moving up your way, to get a lot more for their money, for lifestyle, for, just the fabulousness that is Southeast Queensland. Um, So, are you finding that as well? Do you have an insight into that? You might not, which is fine.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
we
Mm,
definitely do take those into consideration in our
mm,
reports each week.
yeah.
So the leasing manager does look at where people are coming from for
Mm,
our statistics.
yeah.
I would have to say that it's only 20% that is coming from,
Yeah.
non-local
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know the media are hyping up that
Yeah.
everyone's coming
Yes.
from everywhere else
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
our area.
Yeah. Okay.
But realistically, it's still local people
Still within.
moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good to know. And look, coming back to that, the stock levels, it is such an issue, as buyers agents, and we're licensed in multiple states, so we're buying in the Melbourne area, Adelaide, Brisbane, here in Sydney, obviously too, but over in WA. There is such a lack of quality stock out there. And again, the stock that does come on the market is just, being snapped up like your rental properties. So it's not for, in terms of providing stock for and properties for from a landlord perspective to tenants, it's not for lack of trying at the moment. But people just
True.
they're still sitting on their hands somehow. There just still isn't the stock coming on the market, which but possibly has multiple reasons, So, in terms of a COVID sort of tenancy legislation, for example, that is one thing that's affecting stock levels in Victoria and certainly in WA as well, because landlords have not been able to sell property with vacant possession because there's emergency tenancy laws in place, which means the tenant, you can't kick them out. Not that one would want to kick them out, but you know what I mean. You can't.
Yeah.
And that's affecting stock levels because there's a lot of investors that aren't selling at the moment because they can't. Mm,
Yeah, so I
so
suppose in Queensland, we did have a
different.
couple of
Mm,
shifts
yeah.
during COVID
Mm,
where actually changed our legislation. And
mm,
if the property did go up for sale and it did secure a secured
mm,
contract where an owner occupier wanted to move in, our legislation actually changed where we could actually ask the tenant to leave.
right.
And that actually
Mm,
caused quite a big upheaval, to be
yeah.
honest,
Gosh.
with our staff of
Mm,
property managers having to deal with tenants and managing them as best they could in securing another home, which we always do.
yes.
But being kicked out of your home, one, in the time of COVID, two,
Mm,
obviously owners were doing it because they were in all kinds of hurt as well, so
mm,
it
mm.
needed to be completed. But our legislation actually changed the
It's the other
opposite
way.
way, where
Mm,
we were allowed to
mm,
move them
mm,
on.
mm.
So then it actually changed back to now being the normal
Oh,
legislation, where if they have a lease in place, that they can stay on
yeah.
legally to the
Yes.
end of that
Yeah.
lease. So we're
Yeah.
technically back
Okay.
to normal.
Normal.
So I don't
Mm,
believe that at the moment that
mm,
that has played a part in
mm,
reduced sales or anything like that.
mm.
Uh, in my opinion, I believe that the reason why people are reluctant to sell at the moment is because they see that we have had that slight increase
Mm.
and they're waiting for that extra
Extra.
increase. Everyone keeps predicting that towards the end of this year that the prices will be higher in our area,
Mm,
and that's what they're all waiting for.
mm. Even if they have to then buy into that higher priced area
That
again,
yeah, yeah, and
right?
and
Yes.
it's our job to
Yeah.
obviously educate them that if you
Yes.
sell in that high market, you have to repurchase in
Right.
the high market. So, but
Mm,
yeah, unfortunately, there's
mm.
like this is a great opportunity now
Yes.
to sell, and
Yes.
that's what we do
Absolutely.
try to
Yeah.
educate them in.
Absolutely. Yes. Alana, are you finding that tenants are, again, I don't want to cover off the entire, the whole of Brisbane, but let's say focusing on North Brisbane or the Sunshine Coast, are you finding that tenants are looking for that little bit more space at the moment? Have you noticed a sort of change in the, let's say, property type that people are looking for because of maybe COVID, looking for a bit more space, the home office, room for the kids to go and, don't bother me while I'm on a Zoom call kind of space?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Mm.
So we definitely have seen, like before COVID, everyone was looking for that 4 bedroom,
Yeah.
2 bathroom, double lock up,
Mm.
double garage,
Mm.
2 living area type
Yeah.
property.
Mm.
Now it's a must.
Mm.
So if they were looking for a 4 bedroom, they're generally looking for a 4 bedroom with a study.
Yeah.
If it,
Mm.
or the property can have 4 bedrooms, but they need 3 living areas so
Mm.
that the third living area can be converted
Mm.
into that at home office. So,
Mm.
100%, we're definitely seeing a
Mm.
lot of our larger homes. We're actually stunned at that people are like, this is not big enough.
Off.
So, people are
Mm.
really, yeah, being
Mm.
critical of
Mm.
houses that once were our standard home for
Yeah.
everyone,
Mm.
which were quite large houses. They're going, yeah, this is not large enough. So we are definitely seeing
Mm.
still a lot of people are working from home and will continue to
Mm.
because that's the new norm.
Yes, and I think it'll be interesting to monitor, I guess, how long this sort of trend goes on for, because I think there's not so much two camps, but one group of people who think that this is our new normal, this is how it's going to stay, and there's another camp that sort of says, think it'll calm down a little bit, and I think I tend more to that. I think it's not, we don't all want to live in a huge, 3 living area house some of us do still like to have proximity to the action, the city. So I think it might sort of balance out a little bit, but especially when we open the borders up again, right? But it'll be interesting to monitor the trends, I think, moving
Yeah,
forward.
I think people will
Mm,
pare back. I think it
yeah,
is like a for now thing, and then
yeah,
everyone will go
so,
back to
yeah.
where they once were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. So, you sort of alluded to already how few properties you have for rent generally at the moment. So, your vacancy rates, I guess, are super low. Is that reflecting, or is that being reflected in the asking rents? Are people kind of literally queuing up and saying, "I'll give you $50 a week more than it's being marketed for," or is that not happening yet? Mm.
Yeah, look, in Queensland, we're not allowed to take more than what we've advertised
No.
it for.
Right.
So technically, while we would love to, that's
Mm.
definitely not allowed, and I'm sure our clients would love us to
Yes.
too.
Mm.
In saying that, what our job obviously is to do now is to read the market and know that
Mm.
it's limited vacancies. We are able to secure higher prices and obviously
Mm.
position the property in according to the market.
Mm.
So we've, I think, had conversations in the office where I've come back and said to the staff, right,
Mm.
we're putting,
Mm.
550 on this property,
Mm.
whereas
Yeah.
we probably would have put 500 on it or
Mm.
520 on it 3 months ago. The girls kind of look at me a bit odd, like,
Mm.
okay. And I'm like, trust the process.
Yes.
And we
Yeah.
rent it within 7 to 14 days.
Mm.
And 14 days is probably, I'm over exaggerating.
Yes,
We've
I know.
we've
Yeah,
well
yeah,
and
yeah,
truly rented
yeah.
it within
Mm.
7 days.
Mm.
And it's just things like that at the
Mm.
moment that we're definitely well and truly securing, and they're
Mm.
good suitable tenants. Like
Mm.
they're, it's
Yeah.
not the
Mm.
first person. We're really scrutinizing the applications as we
Mm.
always have done. It's just a matter of we've got multiple choices and they're
Mm.
really good tenants.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting too that we are in these market conditions at the moment, pretty much like I said earlier, universally around the country, where we have rents and values growing at the same time. It doesn't normally happen across Australia. Different things going on in different areas for different reasons, blah blah blah. I say this all the time, but the value growth and rental growth is often, they're counter cyclical. It's very rare that we have all of this going on at the same time, right? And again, pure lack of stock, right? Which is um, that key ingredient, I think, at the moment to why that is happening, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm,
absolutely.
mm,
I was just saying to someone the other day, in my entire time in real estate, I've
mm,
never seen a market like this.
mm,
Like this is
mm.
history in the making
Yeah,
because I've literally never seen it like this
yeah,
at all.
Yes. And I think again, and I've talked to a few people about this too, when our borders open, which it's a fair way off yet, agreed. But when they do, and I think our whole sort of COVID handling, stability of market offering, and the lifestyle that and the pricing that Southeast Queensland offers, I think I've said multiple times, I think people are going to be queuing around the globe to get into to get into Australia, and Southeast Queensland, is I think poised for quite the growth cycle because of that as well, because you've also got us lot, Sydney siders, you've got New South Wales and Victoria moving up as well. You've got interstate migration. I think you're going to have overseas migration coming in too. So just saying, be warned.
Yeah. Is that a move out
It's
now?
a move
Or?
out. No, it's what are we going to do about these stock levels? How do we get people to sell?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, we're trying to work on it. We're
Yeah,
trying to assist you
yeah.
all here.
Mm,
So, but yeah, look, I mean, at the
mm,
moment with regards to sales, what we're
yeah.
actually seeing is the properties that are selling at the
Mm,
moment, we are finding are selling to owner occupiers too, which
mm,
is quite interesting.
yes.
So we
Yeah.
prior to COVID, we saw a lot of investors,
Mm,
purchasing properties, and that was kind of where we felt the market
mm,
would sit for quite some time.
mm.
But during COVID and now, well, we're not really past it, are we? We're still
No.
within it.
Mm,
But we're actually finding that, you know, our rental properties that are selling, and most of the properties within the market, I would say a good 70% of them are
mm,
selling to owner occupiers.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That Yes, you're not alone there. Again, that's happening around the country. There's
Yeah.
again, I featured in one of my news videos yesterday that the first home buyer share, again, this is on a national level, has risen to 50%.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
just first homeowners, never mind upgraders, other homeowners. That's just first homeowners, right? Um, and again, I think that it kind of leads back into this stock level because they're not selling anything. They're buying for the first time, obviously.
Yeah.
So we have our upgraders who are, and investors who have yet to sort of come to the party in numbers that they were potentially going to before COVID hit. And again, I'm seeing figures now that investors are that share of the market is increasing as business confidence increases, and they can see that civilization hasn't ended. The property markets did not crash like everyone predicted they would, or some people predicted they would, and there's confidence coming back there. um
Absolutely.
yeah, but again, we've got those camps of I'm going to sit and wait until my property goes up in value because I can see what's happening, and I'm going to cash in now. So cash in, folks, because
Yeah.
we've got buyers ready to go.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, so well, thank you so much, love. Really appreciate your time and your insights. We've worked together for many years. I feel, well, we have. So again, thank you so much. It's really appreciated to hear awesome work that you guys are doing, and
Yeah. No, thanks for having me. It's
do it
been a pleasure.
yeah, we can do it again really soon. And
Excellent.
yeah, and bye for now.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, everyone, I really hope that that's helped you get on top of all the action in Brisbane and that you found it really, really useful. As always, remember, people, different areas are doing different things at different times for different reasons when we're not post-pandemic. And not all markets are suitable for everyone. You've got to look at this long-term, post-pandemic. So we will continue to keep you updated on all the comings and goings of the Brisbane and Queensland property markets. Don't forget to just subscribe to our channel. Leave me a comment, hit the like button. I really appreciate your support. Leave me a comment, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.